See, my goal in life is this, is to eradicate anger. That's my goal. Totally eradicate anger, and anything around me doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me, not I become a cold, dead fish. It doesn't affect me as in the sense that I react negatively to people who react negatively to me. So people who react negatively to me, I'm going to reach a state where I have no more anger. I'm going to achieve that, and I'm going to go for that because that's my aim. That's my aim. Oh, and the retreat center, and my own bigger TV, and let me see, a nicer car. These other things too, but the big aim, oh, I need to get a few Versace shirts. Maybe, let me think. I want to get a little skinnier too, so if, you know, I don't know, more exercise machines. I don't know. I've got these little wishes, but my real wish and my heartfelt wish is to get rid of anger, and I'm serious, and I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to get rid of it completely, that even when it looks like I'm angry, I'm not angry inside. It's a method. It's not a result of anger. And I'm going to achieve that, because if I can achieve that, do you know how happy I'll be and how happy I'll make people around me? And you know how happy I'll be in my future lives? Do you know the results of anger and how much it harms, the karma that we collect from anger and the actions? You know how much negative karma arises from that alone, because it's a root cause. It's a root cause. That's my goal. On a medium level. A higher level, there's other goals, but medium level, I'm get rid of anger. And I've been quite successful in the last few years because it's reduced tremendously. Through meditation, through practices, through thinking about it, through reading, through applying the methods. You know, when I want to get angry, I just don't. When I want to get angry, I think it through. And it's going to get better. And I'm going to do that because that's a spiritual goal. I'll make everybody around me happy. I'll make myself happy. And I don't create the causes to be unhappy anymore in the future. Can you imagine a person who is kind? Isn't it fun to be around them? Isn't it wonderful? They can be the most beautiful person in the world, but if they're nasty, you don't want to be around them unless you want something. And you can have somebody that is not very beautiful, and they're very beautiful on the inside, and you end up hanging around with them and being with them, because ultimately what we need is a human touch and human care. We're social beings, and that's what we really need. Initially it may be physical, but ultimately it's inside. So if we can develop that state of mind, it will propel all our dharma, all our other practices. It'll be a very big investment, because you know why? I'm going to leave this body behind. I'm going to leave my wealth behind. I'm going to leave all my tankas and all my silver, everything I'm going to leave behind. And the only thing I'm going to take with me is my mind. So when I take that mind, I have this much anger, and then I have this much. Next life, I start out with this much. You know how much problem I create less for myself because I have this much? And then that life, like that, like that, like that, and then Buddha. So every life, when I reduce that, I create so much less negativity for myself and harm. And that's what I'm going to take with me. That's what's going to reincarnate my mind. Nothing else, not my friends, nothing. So if I keep cultivating things that I can't take with me and making that a means to the end, it's silly. We should spend time on those things to maintain, but it shouldn't be our goal. Why? They don't bring happiness, and we can't take it with us. So I prefer to develop something that I can take with me. See, I'm full of desire and attachment, and I'm sneaky and selfish, but at least in a good way. Dalai Lama always says, be sneaky in a good way. Be selfish in a smart way. Get rid of anger. You'll be very, do that, he says, is a very good way of making yourself happy. He says, be selfish the good way. And I agree. Of course I agree, because it makes sense. And so that's what I want to do. That when I leave this body, there's going to be negative traits in me that's been pretty much a lot removed, so that when I start my next life, it'll really be it'll be a nice continuation. Not a beginning, a nice continuation. And that's what life's all about. So 5 years ago, we got rid of this. This year, we're like that. This year, we can enjoy ourselves. In 5 years, we've been eating away, we're a fat slob, and 5 years later, we're still a fat slob, and 5 years later, we're still a fat slob, then you're not going to enjoy anything, because that created that. That leads to that. So similarly, I'm going to take my mind with me, and I take my mind everywhere I go. And when I age in this life, and I'm wrinkled, and no one's going to look at me anymore, if I have kindness, I won't be lonely. Everybody will be around me. Everyone. Who wants to be around an old, bitter, angersome, scoldy type of person? We stay away. And they're unpleasant. Luckily in Asia, we respect the elderly, so we don't throw them out like in America. But here, it's not enough still, because people are becoming modern. Distractions are more, so we don't take care of the elderly. And if they're nasty, it's even harder. So if you're like that, even in this life, before next life, you're going to suffer tremendously. Whether you have wealth or not, you're going to suffer. Because they're going to come to you, but they're going to want you for your wealth, not you. And that hurts. It hurts. It's painful. So if you develop kindness, whether you're rich or poor, old or young, whatever, you win all the way. If you get rid of anger, which is the biggest enemy of kindness, patience, you win all the way. And then the ultimate win is when you leave this life. Your mind has reached that level, and that's what you're going to take with you. Isn't that fabulous? I think it's fabulous. I think it's fabulous is because that's something worth achieving. And from that state of mind comes reality for you. Karma, action, speech. So that's what I'm going to work on. I say that all the time to encourage you. At the same time, I'm being honest. And lastly, that is spiritual practice. To get rid of the negative states of mind that bring you unspiritual states of mind in yourself and others. And instead of blaming other people, which most of the time you're right, they're like that, you can turn the situation around if you're not like that. And how did that come about? By transforming your mind. And that's why we listen to the Dharma, because we get methods. We get logic. We get understanding of why. Not simply we should. You know, everybody say, oh, religion is good, is being a good person. But there are many people in religion who are not a good person. Many. Why? It stops there. They don't try the methods. They don't listen to the methods in depth, and they don't practice the method. Just saying we're going to be a good person, that's the purpose of religion, doesn't make you religious or spiritual. Doesn't make you good religion. Practice, religious practitioner. You have to practice. So you hear that. Oh, I don't have to believe in religion. I'm a good person. What? But that's the knowledge they have thinking they're a good person. Are they? Are they? You have to think carefully. So Dharma is knowledge. Dharma gives us different ideas and different ways of looking at things. And it's given with a correct motivation, and it's received with a correct motivation. It's very powerful. And it generates great amount of merit and very good energy. That this energy not only pervades now, it also goes into the future lives. So therefore, when we create this type of beautiful energy, we dedicate it to something holy.